Hey boys and girls, this is Wildman Willis here, and I'm doing a review of last night's WWE pay-per-view, Payback. This is the major pay-per-view after WrestleMania, which you could get on the WWE Network. Back in the day, it used to be called Backlash, but now it's called Payback. So I'm gonna go into the matches. And I actually watched the pre-show. So the pre-show matches was Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin. Pretty good match, but Dolph Ziggler won. It made no sense. If you try and build up this monster, Baron Corbin, he should have tore through Dolph Ziggler. I don't understand the book in that. Maybe because that's the reason why they did it on the pre-show. All in all, it was okay, but I didn't like the ending. The next match was Kalisto versus Ryback. Ryback was being a butt because he came out and did the CM Punk "It's clobbering time," trying to make fun of CM Punk in Chicago, and that pissed the crowd off because they was in Chicago. So Ryback was getting booed the whole night. It was a pretty good competitive match. And Kalisto is still the WWE US Champion. That match could have actually been on the show and not pre-show. And it would have been cool to see. I don't know what they're going to do with Kalisto. Ryback talking about he's not happy with his push, so he's talking about he might leave. So we'll see with him. So we're going to go into the first match of the actual pay-per-view, which was shortened because of injury. It was the Blood Villains versus Enzo and Cass. And the match was going pretty good for the first couple minutes until Enzo took a bad bump on the ring ropes. And they said he had a concussion, but he's out of the hospital now, so he'll be probably wrestling hopefully in a couple weeks once he gets cleared for his concussion. So thank God Cass is alright, because that would have been a shame and disgrace. He just starting now to wrestle on Monday Night Raw and pay-per-views, and he ended up getting hurt so much that he can't wrestle no more, which would have been sad, very sad to see. We had Cesaro versus The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. But first we must go into the Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens match, which to me was the match of the night, because these guys have been wrestling each other for so long. They know each other's moves, and it was a competitive back and forth match. If you've seen any of the NXT stuff, you should know how their matches go. So Kevin Owens takes the win. It still doesn't hurt Sami Zayn because of his character. And after the match, Kevin Owens punks Brian Saxton into doing an interview. And then he stays outside for the next match, which is The Miz versus my man Cesaro with the James Bond gimmick. A pretty good competitive match. Back and forth and back. But Sami Zayn just comes out of nowhere and beats the hell out of Kevin Owens. And the brawl goes into the ring, out of the ring. And while this was going on, The Miz capitalizes and retains his title. And after that, it's just the pure six brawl in the ring. Everybody going after each other, but near the end, at the end, Kevin Owens stands tall. So most likely at Extreme Rules, it will be a four-way for the Intercontinental title. We had next Dean Ambrose versus Chris Jericho. It was a decent match because these two could wrestle real good against each other, but the problem about the match is Dean done lost so many important matches. It seemed like this didn't really help him, but so much. As we got to see what they're going to do with him. Chris Jericho said he's done with WWE for the moment. That's usually what he do, WrestleMania and one more pay-per-view. And he rolls out because it's time for him to go start singing. So, the next match we had was for the Women's Championship. Yes, we could say Women's Championship. Charlotte versus Natalya. Brett with in Natalya's corner, and of course Ric Flair in Charlotte's corner. For some reason, this match felt kind of off. It wasn't their best match that they had. The robot match was way better than this one. And the one they had next NXT was much better too. I don't know. I guess the timing was off, but it was a decent match. But the ending, they did the Montreal Screwjob thing over again. Why? I don't see the point. I'd rather for them to have Charlotte just cheat the way she been cheating. But I guess it was kind of a cool visual to see Bret Hart putting Ric Flair in the sharpshooter, even though it took him forever to put him in there because, you know, Bret just got over prostate cancer and stuff. So I can understand it took him so long to do that. But it was just cool seeing him. Then we basically had a break with the McMahon family drama. So if you needed to go to the bathroom and do something, this was the time. But basically, we were supposed to find out who was going to control Monday Night Raw. And Vince just put both of them in charge of it. So that played into the last match, which was the title match. AJ Styles versus my most unfavorite wrestler right now, Roman Reigns. And I have to say that Roman Reigns did pretty good in this match. Only because AJ is just that good of a wrestler. And he's used to being against people bigger than him. So that worked out cool. It seemed like they was going tit for tat for each other. And then once it came down to a count out because AJ Styles hit Roman Reigns with a forearm and put him through the table with the forearm. He tried to bring him back in the ring, but Roman Reigns got counted out. So Shane came out and changed the match to no countouts. So they was going back and forth there. And Roman Reigns hit AJ Styles with a low blow, which is the Punk move to me. So that just makes me hate Roman Reigns even more. He shouldn't be hitting nobody in the gonads. So then Stephanie come out and said no disqualification match. So that leaves for Gallows and Anderson to come in and beat the hell out of Roman Reigns. But it really doesn't do so much because Roman got that damn vest on. So he can just recover from stuff because he's not really taking no hits. Honestly, so boo with that. He need to get rid of that crap. But that's just one of the many problems with that man. But after Gallows and Anderson attacks him, the Usos come down there to help out Roman Reigns, and they brawl with each other. And basically that's leading up to the last couple of minutes of the match. Roman Reigns basically counters the flying forearm with the spear and win the match. People still booing in Chicago. They don't care about Roman Reigns. They might as well just turn him heel because he's just getting booed. He got booed the whole night. It was a little bit of chance of let's go Roman. That was from the little kids and some of the women in the arena. But all in all, to me, this was a better pay-per-view than WrestleMania because the matches was better. But they still did some wonky stuff with some of the finishes. But I can't complain so much. I enjoyed what I was watching. So this is Wildman Willis signing off. See you next time.